Pearl Stucco. MAGNAT Style Pearl Stucco is a thin-layer acrylic compound with pearl fillers intended for decorating indoor walls. The product gives the decorated surfaces a unique coat with a refined pearly gloss. Depending on the application method, the reflections on the decorative coat vary with the changes of light incidence angles. This product requires specific application skills. Application of the coating requires the following products and tools: MAGNAT primer, a matte indoor primer that gives a uniform background and levels the substrate absorption. Pearl Stucco, a thin-layer acrylic compound with a pearl finish effect. Coloring pigment, a concentrated pigment for coloring MAGNAT-style products. A Venetian float. Substrate preparation. It is necessary to properly prepare the substrate for the application of MAGNAT-style Pearl Stucco. Due to the specific texture of the product, it is recommended to apply the compound on smooth and level substrates. Both new and renovated surfaces need to be coated with MAGNAT primer. The product is based on nanotechnology. It has excellent covering power, stabilizes the absorbing power of the substrate, consolidates it, and improves the adhesion of top coats. In order to obtain a proper decorative finish, tint the primer with the MAGNAT-style coloring pigment in the color of choice available from the color card. The tinted primer will later require the application of only 2 thin layers of MAGNAT-style Pearl Stucco, which will reduce the decoration time and ensure an optimum yield of the compound. It is best to apply MAGNAT primer with a roller in 1 or 2 layers that must be uniform in texture and color. The recommended drying time is about 2 hours per layer. Product preparation. MAGNAT-style Pearl Stucco is a ready-to-use product. Tint the compound with the MAGNAT-style coloring pigment in the color of choice available from the color card or any other color, remembering that the pigment volume must not exceed 3% of the colored product volume. When several containers of the same product are to be uniformly colored, it is advisable to color them together in one larger container. Applying the first layer. Apply the product when the substrate and ambient temperatures are between 5 and 25 degrees centigrade. Apply the first layer of MAGNAT-style Pearl Stucco with a Venetian float on the previously prepared dry surface. Apply the product in small patches at a time, moving the float in various directions to cover the surface thoroughly. The nature of the decorative finish does not require joining the patches wet on wet. Join the successive fragments of the decorated surface from dry to wet sides. Continue to cover the remaining fragments of the surface by applying the first layer of stucco in the same way. Leave the finished first layer for about 4 hours to dry. Applying the second layer. Apply the second layer of MAGNAT Style Pearl Stucco in the same way as before. Spread the compound on a small patch of the decorated surface at a time. Remove an excess of the product with the clean edge of the float. Depending on the ambient conditions, the compound will begin to dry after 5 to 10 minutes. Now, smooth the surface by running the float in various directions. Do this by gently pressing on the surface without using excessive force. This will produce pearl reflections that depend on the light incidence angle. The optimum yield from 1 kilo of the compound on smooth substrates is up to 4 square meters in 2 layers. Due to the properties of the pearl stucco, it's possible to correct the application defects on the dry layer, correct or repair the texture after a long time, or to make longer pauses during the application process. Wet on wet joints are not required when covering large areas. All this makes the application of MAGNAT Style Pearl Stucco easy and comfortable. Leave the finished decoration layer to dry. At the temperature of 20 degrees centigrade and 65% air humidity, the coat is dry to touch in 2 hours, fully dry in 6 hours. The coat develops full strength properties in 28 days.